Hey guys, how's everybody doing tonight? This phone's making my face look big. I have one of these cameras that has like 3 different things. You can be like really close, or you can be like further away and then really far away. And for some reason, when I do it on live video, it makes me look huge. So I think I need to like pull my phone back like this. Hey, Shannon. Hey, Terry. Shannon, I thought you were doing the leader's potluck. Oh, I guess it's not time yet. I'm going to unplug my phone and push it away from me a little bit, so it's not so close to me. Hey, Everett. Good. I'm glad you're doing great. Said enjoyed your day off. Nice. I've been driving all over the place today. Appointment after appointment after appointment, but good appointments. One of which was going to Medford today to pick up some of our merchandise because we had another store reach out to us. I didn't even solicit it at all, but I had another store reach out to us and say that they wanted to carry some of our stuff. So like one of everything and 10 of certain things. So I was really excited about that. I think that would be so helpful to have other people sell our stuff versus us having to like package it up and send it and keeping track of it and charging sales tax and things like that. So I really was thinking about it actually on my way over to Medford today, thinking about like we have 4 stores, I think, that hold our stuff, 5 stores that hold our stuff now. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if like everybody else just did all that for us, where we didn't have to actually hold inventory or send it out or anything. And so I was like trying to think like, how do you do that? I am guessing that there might be companies that do that for you, where they like hold your stock and then they, ship it or whatever. I don't know if it'd be shipping companies or whatever. But anyways, if anyone knows of something like that, will you tell me? I'm really interested in that because with like the packing and shipping and all that kind of stuff, it can be a lot of work. And so it would just be awesome if we had a company that did that. And I'm sure we probably can't afford it now, but maybe we could in the future. So I would just love to know if any of you know of a company that does something like that, because that would be very interesting. So yeah, it was a good day today. I'm moving forward on my dreams and my life. And yeah, had a few questions come to me today that I thought I would kind of put it out here. I put it out on one of our posts today, but I just have been really pondering it kind of all day, mostly for myself, but then thinking about like, gosh, I wonder how many other people are feeling really similar. So anyways, yeah. Terry, did you guys get snow down there? That's kind of further, that's much further down. You probably didn't get snow. Never mind. That's a silly question. You guys have a gift shop, Everett? That would be cool. Yeah, I was just thinking about this today as I was gathering the sweatshirts and t-shirts for this shop. I thought, you know what? I kind of want to sell out of all the t-shirts and sweatshirts we have right now and then place another order for some new colors, or colors that we had in the past that everybody loved, like red. I was thinking, we should put another order in for like red sweatshirts or red t-shirts or our purple or some of the ones that were really popular in the past. So, yeah, I might be doing that here really soon and get some fresh stuff out there, since a lot of our people already have all of our different, sweatshirts and t-shirts and stuff like that. So that's cool. I didn't know you guys had a gift shop there. I guess I don't really know where you work, so duh, but cool. Oh, there's the lady right there, the shop owner, Natalie Parks. Natalie reached out to me, and she is a nail tech who owns her own place, and she is going to have a boutique there. And so at first I thought when she said the word boutique, I thought, oh, it's just for ladies or or whatever. She's just going to want really girly stuff. So I was thinking, oh, I'm just going to be able to give her like these sweatshirts and these t-shirts and maybe these tank tops. But then she was like, no, everything. I'm like, sweet. So I'm really excited. So after I'm done here this evening, I'm going to be driving back to Wairika, and I will be bringing this stuff to her shop. And so we'll send you guys pictures of that. So if any of you are in that area, you can go into her shop as well, get your nails done, and pick up some Purely His gear. Support a good cause. Yay. Well, cool. Well, I'm just going to, I need to take this gum out of my mouth. Sorry. That would be annoying, sitting there talking to somebody as they're like chomping on gum. So there was this kind of like a question that was like really like brewing in my mind, and then I just kind of put a post out there today, and there was a lot of feedback, and some of the feedback was very similar, and I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna casually talk about this tonight, and it has to do with us pursuing our dreams in life, us pursuing our goals in life, or our calling in our life, or just like stepping out and doing new things that we just like really want to do, whether it's a job, it's a new business, it's taking your business in a new direction, it's whatever, starting to like volunteer at this one thing, or maybe starting to write that book, or whatever it is. Either you haven't started yet, or you're just getting ready to start, or you already started, but you're getting ready to like go through like a transition or some sort. All of those things can be very scary and can be very intimidating. And there's a lot of reasons that will keep us from ever even trying. It'll keep us from stepping out, and we'll make all kinds of excuses. We'll say things like, oh, I just can't do that right now. My life is just so busy. Or, I just can't do that right now because I just don't have the schooling yet. I just can't do that yet because I don't have the money yet. I just can't do that because whatever. And, we can come up with excuses and reasons all day long, but it doesn't really, those reasons don't really excuse us from the calling that is on our life. Those reasons don't really excuse us from never reaching our goals, or never like stepping out in faith. We can't just keep using those things as excuses. Like, they're real, don't get me wrong. Like, I have had a lot of fear when I first started this ministry, and when I get ready to go through other transitions, I get a lot of fear too. But I can't be like, well, I can't do it because I'm too afraid, I'm too scared. It's like, no, I need to do it scared. And but I don't, I doubt myself. I don't feel confident in myself. I feel insecure, I can't. Well, I need to do it insecure. I just need to push through those things and actually do that stuff. And as I do them, I start to get more secure. And as I do them, I start to get a little bit more courage. And as I do those things, I start to get a little bit more educated. There are things that we're never going to be able to experience if we never like step out in faith. And so, when I put that out there today, I think my question was something along the lines of, what is holding you back from stepping out into your calling? What is holding you back from stepping out and making that change that you need to make? And so, different people said insecurity. They said doubt. They said, I'm too busy. My calendar is in my way. And I'm too insecure. And all of those reasons are valid. But you're not going to be able to stand in front of Jesus someday, which we all will, but you're not going to be able to stand in front of him someday and say, I'm sorry, I never stepped out in faith because I was too scared. I never stepped out in faith because I just felt too insecure, God. I never stepped out in faith because I was just too busy. He's going to be like, no, I actually gave you these gifts, and, what did you do with them? Did you bury them? Did you hide them? Did you not use them? Did you save them? Or did you use them? And I just want to encourage you that you don't have to be perfect before you start things. I used to struggle with perfectionism really super bad. And I was struggling with it when I started this ministry. Like, I still had it. It wasn't gone yet. It was something I was struggling through. And I thought I couldn't start the ministry until my books were published. But I couldn't get them published fast enough. And so I ended up starting this ministry with, it already written, but it was just on regular paper that I printed at home, and it was stapled in the top left-hand corner, and I had all these little different colored, question cards and the homework cards, and all I had was a leader's guide. No one in the group had a workbook. The people in the group, they got these little colored cards that were all like, cut wrong. They're like, and they were given out to the people in the group, and so they had on one side, it was, the questions they were going to answer that day. And on the other side was the homework that they took home for that day. And all of that stuff was done at my kitchen table. And I was so embarrassed to put that out there, especially at a big church. Because when we launched, it was at a pretty darn good sized church. And it was embarrassing to me, but I really felt like the Lord was like, go and make disciples. Don't sit around and wait till you're perfect before you make disciples. And I was like, yeah, but what if somebody steals my stuff? It's not copywritten. It's like, so, get it out there, go and make disciples. And so I actually used a variation of our book like that for 2 years before it ever got published. And the cool thing about that is I got to find out all the spelling mistakes, and I got to figure out that I didn't need a different, oh my goodness, are you kidding? Somebody just turned the light off. Nobody knows that I'm in here. This is funny. I hope I don't run into a table or a chair. Oh, it's back on. Sweet. Okay, nobody knows I'm in here. I'm actually hiding because I'm going to surprise one of our groups. That's funny. I'm going to go shut that door. I'm going to surprise one of our groups tonight. They don't know that I'm coming. It's actually a group leader potluck. I'm going to shut this. If Shannon's in the building, or if she's watching this right now, then she's going to know that I'm here, and I'm going to surprise them. I was just going to video chat with them tonight. Okay, so back on track. So, that's funny. So anyways, so I did this whole thing for 2 years, stapled in top left-hand corner, and I started making it kind of a little bit better by doing a little ring kind of thing to bind the book. But it was all just black and white. It was super boring, but it was working. It was totally working. And that was one of the ways that God used that in my life to move me through perfectionism. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to get it out there, and your logo doesn't have to be perfect, and your website doesn't have to be perfect. It's is the content good? Is the content actually going to, help people? Yes. Is it helping people? Yes. Then who cares if it's perfect or not? And so many people are just waiting for things to be perfect, or they're waiting until they're not scared anymore to have to take that leap of faith. But what if the fear never goes away? Are you never going to do it because you're just waiting around to be confident? It's through doing stuff. Sometimes you get confident through doing stuff. And the thing is too, is that, Jesus, so just for instance, in what I do, it's about making disciples. And Jesus says, when we're making disciples, he says, and I'll be with you till the end of the age. Hey, little lady, you're not doing this alone. So don't forget that. I always have to remember when I get scared, and when I'm coming up against transition, or coming up against things that are scary and hard for me to do, I have to remember the only reason I'm scared is because I'm depending on myself. It's all about me, and it's all up to me, and I'm scared, and what if I fail, and what if I do it wrong, and what if I'm not perfect, and what if people get mad at me, and what if this, and what if that? And I have to be no. I don't live for other people's praise. I live for Jesus Christ. I live for his praise. And the fact that the Holy Spirit is in me, I'm not alone doing anything. I am doing everything with him if I choose to. Or I can just choose to leave him out and be oh no, I got this, Lord. I'm cool. I got this. Thanks. But I don't do that. When I start to get scared like that, when I start to feel that perfectionism rising up, when I start to feel everyone's going to be mad at me or whatever, or I might fail, I just go, Lord, I really need you. I need me and you to do this together, and I need to lean on your power and your strength and your wisdom, and let's do this, Lord. And I have to just keep reminding myself, it's me and the Lord. So, Lord, let's do this. And so I don't know who that is for tonight, but I always know that it's never just for me. But I've actually been pondering something for 2 years now. For 2 years, I have been unhappy in a certain situation in my life, and I have been praying and praying and praying and talking to people and asking for prayer and asking for what to do and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And the whole time, I think I knew exactly what I wanted to do, but I was too chicken to do it. I kept thinking, oh, somebody will have a better way. Or maybe, I didn't really trust myself. And so I just kept asking and asking and asking. And then I totally made my decision. And then I let somebody talk me out of it. And then I went back to being unhappy again. And it's I talked to my mentor the other night. I'm not going to say exactly what it is because I'll share that stuff later. But I ended up calling my mentor 2 nights ago, and my mentor is my super good friend now. We actually mentor each other. And I called her up, and I was telling her what was going on and telling her what I was feeling. I was like, I'm pretty sure, I already made my decision, but I feel like I need your permission. I feel like and I was like, and I know that I don't, but I feel like I do. And so I told her, and she was like, you do not need my permission. You know the voice of the Lord. You know his voice. Now follow him. Okay. I'm just scared. And so anyways, I have learned with being a Christian that I'm going to be asked to do a lot of things that feel really scary. But right on the other side, as soon as I push through whatever that is that I'm scared of, once I push through it and get right to the other side, I'm so elated. I'm that's what I needed to do 2 years ago. Why did I wait so long? Why didn't I just do it then? And it was because I didn't want to do the wrong thing. I didn't want to, what if it was the wrong decision? And I was just feeling insecure about, taking another leap of faith. But I need to do it. And part of what gets me to do it is because I've done this before many times in my life, especially as a Christian for the last 13 years. And I always remember that as soon as I push through that, what I call a mirage, because it's this mirage of fear, what if and I'm so scared. And then I push through it and it's just evaporates. And then I'm right on the other side and I'm oh, I feel so much better. Oh my gosh. Why didn't I do that 2 years ago? And through that, I get exhilarated. And through that, I gained wisdom from going through it. And through that, I am proud of myself that I actually did it. And it just feels good. And I actually gain a little bit more confidence as I go through it. I can do hard things. I can do scary things, and I don't have to be intoxicated to do them, and I know in my past I would have had to be intoxicated to do scary stuff, back in the day when I was an alcoholic and drug addict and all that stuff, I used to call beer liquid courage. It was oh, I need to get my liquid courage. And you know what? I have the courage of the Holy Spirit in me now. I have holy courage now, and I don't need liquid courage to do hard things. Life is full of hard things, but I just think that the enemy uses that fear to keep us from what God really has for us. And maybe he doesn't keep it from us forever, but he sure delays the process. I could have been well on my way, doing what I feel called to do, at a greater level 2 years ago. But like I said, I've been scared. And so I've been insecure. So, yeah. So don't let fear stop you. And remember that fear comes, from the enemy himself. He is the father of lies, and he is the one who brings about that fear. Jesus came to give us abundant life. He came to give us life and life abundantly. And the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Well, part of what he still steals, kills, and destroys is our gifting, our calling, our our dreams, the things that we really want to accomplish in this life, the things that we really want to do for the Lord, the enemy comes along and just like snatches that. And he may not, like I said, he may not snatch it forever and like take my gifting and I can never have my gifts and my calling back. I don't mean like that. But I mean, he can just like snatch that from you because you're so fearful to be able to use that or to step out in faith that he takes it for a while. And then you kind of go through this season where you're like, I just don't know who I am. I don't know what I want to do anymore. I don't have any more dreams. And, I actually talked to a lady today, and she's in a little bit of a season where she is struggling with not knowing what is next for her, not knowing what her next dream was, because she had a certain dream for a very long time, and now that dream is over. And so I just, kind of looked right at her and I said, you still have a dream. There's a God-given dream inside of you. It's still in there, and you need to allow yourself to dream again. You need to give yourself permission to dream again, and really just say, Lord, okay, I'm giving you permission. Like, show me what my dream is. Show me what you want me to do, and then give me the guts to walk it out. And so many times we think that we, in order to walk that dream out, like, I have huge dreams. Oh my gosh, if you sit and talk with me for an hour, I could tell you about a whole bunch of different dreams. If you give me 3 hours, I can fill 3 hours up with dreams of things that I want to do in my life or accomplish or help people or whatever. But I can't do them all. So does that mean, or I can't do them all right now. I can't do them all this year. It's going to take me a lifetime to probably do all of those things, and I'm going to have to get started right away. But does that mean that just because I have a whole bunch of dreams or a really, really big dream, does that mean I need to wait till I'm perfect before I step out in it? Does that mean I need to wait until like all the lights are green before I even start my car? No. I can just get started. I can get started with what I have now, and just like when I started the ministry, I started at home typing on my own computer and printing it at home, and my kids were helping me staple them, and then we were cutting all these things all misshapen, and I just did it. And so I started with what I had. And so I don't know what your dream is, but God knows exactly what your dream is. And it's most likely a dream that is deep inside of you that you've had for a really long time, but you keep pushing it down, keep making reasons and excuses for why you're not going to step out in it. And it's still in there because God gives us all a dream. It's part of like living our life with him. He gives us things to hope for. He gives us things to dream, towards. He is a creator, so he made us a creator. And so, we love to create new things. We love to, set goals and have dreams and have something that makes us get excited because we're hopeful about it coming true and all of that stuff. And so think about what that dream is. Think about the dream, and a lot of times it's a past dream. It's something that you're like, oh yeah, I can't do that anymore. I can't be a counselor anymore. I can't be a nurse anymore. Yeah, I can't do that, again, because I've already been married. I can't do this or I can't do that. And you really can. And so I would encourage you to look at what that dream is, or ask the Lord what the dream is, or give yourself permission to dream again, and really just think like, if I could do anything in the world and get paid for it, what would I do? Or if I could volunteer anywhere in the world, or if I could help anyone in the world, who would I help and how? Those can be dreams. And I would just allow yourself to let those things stir back up again. And then think to yourself or ask God and say, is there anything that I could do on a smaller scale now to start moving towards that? So let's just say, someday I want to, help all the homeless people in my area. And I'm going to have a shelter for them. And I'm going to have, job service for them. And I'm going to have this, I'm going to have that. And I'm going to help them get their license back and get a bank account and stuff like that. But I can't do it because I don't have the money and I'm working full time, so I can't do that. I guess I just can't do it. And it's like, no, but what can you do? Do you have any extra blankets at your house? Do you have any extra sleeping bags at your house? Do you have any food that you can make on a weekend thing? Like, could you start feeding the homeless on Saturdays at 10 a.m. in the park near your house? Could you take those blankets that you have and donate them to a ministry in town and start volunteering with them and seeing if there's some way that you can get involved doing what you feel called to do, doing what your dream is? I think it's just really important to just step out, even a tiny, tiny way. You don't need any money to step out and do a lot of different things because you most likely have it at your house, or you can borrow it from somebody, or you can volunteer somewhere and just start getting your feet wet. Just start moving. If you have been like, I really want to go to school someday I'm going to go to school. You know what? Get off this live and go fill out your paperwork for school. Go look on the internet and see, what does it say? Apply now. It doesn't mean you have to hand over the money right now, but you can at least start stepping towards what God has for you instead of waiting around because, you don't know how much longer you have. You don't know what life is, going to bring you, in the future. And so I just think it's really important for us to stop saying someday and just get moving. And like I said, move slowly if you have to, and move in a way that is just at least getting you moving towards whatever that is. And just don't let the enemy stop you anymore. And don't let yourself stop you. Don't let your family stop you. Don't let your kids or your husband or your wife or, the naysayers. That's my thing. When people are like, you're doing the wrong thing. It's like, really? Yeah. They don't live in my house and they don't live my life and they're not going to answer to God for me. So I really need to do what I feel is the right thing for me. But I do think it is very appropriate to ask many counselors. The Bible specifically talks about having many wise counselors in your life. And I firmly believe in that. I 100% do that. And praying about it and asking for wisdom. So I'm not saying be foolish, but I am saying it is foolish to sit around and let fear stop you from the calling on your life. It is foolish to sit around and let doubt stop you from the calling on your life. It is foolish to sit around and wish and hope that someday you might get to do something that you really want to do when you can actually do it right now. You're in more control than you think. It's your life. And even if you're a teenager, or you're a stay-at-home mom or, whatever, none of us have an excuse to waste our life. And so I would just really encourage you to, start dreaming again. Start dreaming again and start putting some action to those dreams because you'll be so happy that you did. It's so fun. Even if you're working a job where you have to work all the time, you can always work on something on the side, at a very small amount of time, but that thing can bring you joy. It can actually bleed over into your job that you don't like so much. And it can make it a little bit more bearable. And so my son Stefan has been working a job for I think 2 years now, and he hates his job. And it's just this mindless job. He just does over and over and over and over, and he just cannot stand it. And he has these dreams on the side. So he is a creative person, and so he is writing a book, and he's working on a clothing line, and he has to work this job while doing this stuff on the side. But he has really big dreams. And he just recently, this last week, got his first 5 shirts made. Oh, are you kidding me right now? Okay, this is crazy. I'm in the dark again. What in the world? I think people are just messing with me. Lordy. Okay, so, like I said, I'm hiding in a room right now in a church, and I'm about to surprise some people in another room. I should take you guys in there while I surprise them. That would be kind of funny. Okay, so anyways, my son Stefan is working this job he doesn't like, but on the side, he's working on his clothing line and he's writing his book. And he is thinking, at some point I'm going to be able to work myself out of this job that I hate, and I'm going to be able to do what I really love. And so it has taken him a long time. He started working on that clothing line 4 4 years ago or something like that. He started working on his book maybe like 5 years ago, and they're not done yet. But he just like, got over a little hump by getting those first 5 shirts done, and so that he could keep his trademark and things like that. And so sometimes it's going to take you longer than what you want because you still have to work that regular job. But nothing is impossible with God. God made us all creative, and he gave us all dreams. And so even if you don't think that you have one, you do. It's in there. It's just probably buried. And so I would just really encourage you to seek, your own heart, your own mind, set the fear aside and go, what do I really want to do with my life? What do I want to do? What do I want to do to either get paid for it or to volunteer? What do I want to do? What's going to bring me joy? What was I created for? And really just go on that journey and then start taking some little steps. You'll be so glad that you did. Yeah, it's not a power outage, Harmony. I don't think so. I think someone's messing with me. There's a little kid in the hallway. It might be him. I don't know. Either that or, did the whole video cut out? Or just the light? I think it was just the light, hopefully. I never saw the light go off on my phone. Let's see what Victoria said. Victoria said, my lesson since I've been back is to trust him. Fear and anxiousness have been trying to hold me back since I've been here. God has big plans for my husband and I, and the enemy knows it. And I can't click down right now. I have to click that down later. But anyways, yes, you're very right, Victoria. Are you in Mexico now, or are you in the United States now? Because I know I kept seeing pictures of you down there with your husband, which is cool. And I firmly agree that you have a high calling on your life. Holy moly. I can only imagine what your husband's like. And Everett says, God will put us in situations where we have to step out of our safety net and trust in him. He works in mysterious ways, but his ways are right, not ours. That's where faith comes in. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, you are in Mexico. I see that, Victoria. Yay. I'm glad you're encouraged. I look forward to you bringing Purely His down there. We got to get our stuff translated so you can take it. Natalie says, oh man, I really needed to hear this tonight. I bet you do, since you're getting ready to open up your boutique tomorrow. It's awesome. So awesome. Oh, just the light went out. Okay, good. Mecca says, vision, baby steps. Sometimes it's about what God is showing you on the journey. Absolutely. I have gotten so much healing, mostly like in my own identity, from starting this ministry and walking through all the really fearful, like insecure things I've had to walk through and all the things I've had to learn. Oh my goodness. It's been crazy. Like, yeah, my identity was healed from like being a drug addict and a slut and all those things that I was in my past. Like, yeah, that stuff was healed when I got started. But there was a whole other thing, like this whole thing of like feeling like I was stupid, like I can't do it. Who am I to run this ministry? All this stuff. Like, I've really had to walk through a lot of things. And it's a good thing that God made me tough, because it was hard. It was not easy, but it has helped my character. It has made me more solid in my faith with God. It's made me more solid in what I know I really want to do. And I'm also figuring out what I don't want to do. And that's the thing. And you're never going to know if you don't step out. So I just encourage you to step out. You are here for a purpose. You are here on mission from God himself. And so that does not mean you need to be in full-time ministry, like working in a church or working in a ministry or whatever. But wherever it is that you place your feet, that is your ministry. And so, if there's certain things that God has been like tugging on your heart for a while, or things that you have really wanted to do for a really long time, don't wait, okay? It's going to be a lot harder the older you get, so why not just do it now? So, yeah. I have gone ahead of you in some of this really scary stuff, but I'm so glad that I did. And, I get bored if I don't have dreams. I get bored if I don't have goals and things that I'm like working towards. And so, got bored recently, but now I'm not so bored because I am planning some stuff. I'm getting creative again. And yes, the fear is coming back. And yes, the excitement at the same time, because I like to plan and I like to go after things, you know, that are too big for me to handle on my own. And yeah, I just want to see what happens. I'm gonna make some changes, and I am going to really just go after what I think God is calling me to, and hardly anything's going to change, so don't worry. I still have the same calling. I still have the same vision and all of that kind of stuff. I just need to do some new things too. So yeah, that's it. So thank you everyone for tuning in. You'll have to watch the replay if you're just getting on here. I'm going to get off of here because I am going to go in the other room and surprise our leaders. We have a leaders potluck happening here at the Naz Church, and I was just going to be video chatting with them, but they don't know I'm here unless somebody is on here watching and instead of paying attention to Shannon while she's talking. No, Shannon doesn't even know I'm here unless she got on here too, or unless she was one turning the lights off on me. It could have been her. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm going to go in there and see some of our group leaders and answer some questions for them because I love doing that. I love discipling the leaders. And then I'm going to drive an hour and take my merchandise to a lady getting ready to open a shop in California. And then I'm going to go home. Teresa, you said, I have so many dreams. Me too. We should just sit around and talk about dreams. I have so many dreams too. And I got a late start. You know, I didn't start this whole like Christian thing until I was 30. So like, man, I wish I would have started younger. I wish I would have been like, 14 or 16 or 18. Like, man, the things I could have accomplished. Oh, well, I'm making up for lost time. Alrighty, well, you guys have an awesome night and an awesome weekend for those of you who actually get a weekend off. I was getting a text message from my daughter, so I was like, wait, what is she saying? Anyway, so yeah, so for those of you who get a weekend off, enjoy it. And I will talk to you guys later. Share this video for people who need to hear it. They can see my light going out. And they can see how this is not planned and it's not scripted. It's authentic and real. Thank you, Victoria. You too. You be brave too. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.